What's up, gamers? This is NGG here with another review video. This time it is for Ys 9 Monstrum Nox on the Nintendo Switch, and I want to talk about the story, the gameplay, and give it a rating for you guys. Now, this is obviously part number 9, and I will preface this as you don't really need to play the other Ys games. There will be like one or two lines in every chapter that like talk about your past adventuring, so if you have played those, it'll be a callback to those games. But if you have not, it's not a big deal. It's not prevalent to this story, so you can play this one and still be just fine. I haven't played all the Ys games. I've only ever played Ys 8 and now this one, so that's just a preference for you guys. All right, let's get into story. So in chapter 1 of the story, you are Adol and Dogi walking into town. Dogi wants to relax in a bed, and you come upon the city of Balduke, and you notice that like there are guards posted all around the prison town. And Dogi says, you know, it might just be extra precaution because of it being a prison town. While you are outside, you find out from the guards that the city of Balduke is plagued by some monstrums, and that is why they are on high alert. They want to search your things before coming in, and they find out that you are Adol Christensen, and you are immediately put to jail for crimes, I guess, along your adventures. And while you are in prison, a lady finds you in the cell, and she immediately takes it upon herself to apologize right before shooting you in the heart. And now you are now transformed into this monstrum, and what the monstrums are like these group of individuals who have to fight in something called the Monstrum Nox, which is like this arena where a bunch of Lumineers come and they start attacking you, and you have to fight waves and hordes of these beasts in order to win. And if you don't win, obviously you die. But yeah, so every time the full moon rises or something like that, or the Monstrum Nox reaches like you'll see it on your screen at like the top left of like 100%, and then the Monstrum Nox appears. So you have to fight these Monstrum Nox to rid the city of the Lumineers. And now once you finally escape, you find yourself with a bunch of other characters that have also been turned into monstrums. The monstrums are not the bad people that are being portrayed, but you have to find out why the city hates them so much, what's going on. And so that's that's the gist of the story. You know, you can't leave the town, because as a monstrum you can't leave the town. Monstrums are like enclosed into the town and they cannot leave, so you have to now try to figure out how to remove this monstrum from yourself in order to leave the town of Balduke, or else you are trapped there forever. And so that's the gist of the story of Ys 9. Now let's get into gameplay, because gameplay is king, as some of our other people will say. And the gameplay of Ys 9 is an action RPG. So you are not doing turn-based battles, you are doing action RPG. You have skills that you learn during battle or during leveling up that you can equip to your monstrums, and you get a total of like 6 monstrums in total, and each monstrum has its own ability. Like you can like teleport from a red dot to a red dot. One of you guys can fly. There are several other monstrums with other abilities that I don't want to spoil here for you guys, but each time you unlock a new character and unlock a new monstrum, you get abilities to progress further in the game. And it's like every chapter I believe has a new monstrum, so you definitely having to learn what each character's motivation as a monstrum is, what's going on. It opens the story up little by little, but for the most part, you are in town fighting these Lumineers in like these little green things. You'll see them along the streets, and if you want to open up the story more, you have to get to 100 points. If you get to 200 points in each chapter, it opens up a special area that's not 100% necessary, but you have to get to at least 100 in order to progress in the game. And all the while you're fighting the Lumineers that are spread out through the town. There's a job board, so if you want to do these little job board quests, you can do those, and that'll help you get items and make your Grimoire Nox thing go up faster than just fighting random Lumineers outside in the streets. But yeah, a lot of the gameplay is good. You start building a community in this bar where you'll have a smithy, all kinds of people that join the fight in Balduc, and a lot of the people who have nowhere else to go in Balduc end up showing up in the bar. So the bar is like your hub point in this game, where like every other, every game has like a hub point. So far that I've played Ys 8 that had a hub point, and now Ys 9 there's a hub point as well. So this is your hub point where you'll be able to upgrade your weapons, upgrade your armor, have food cooked to prepare meals so that you can fight, and potion brewing. There's lots of things happening in this game. In the chapters, you're going from chapter to chapter in the story, trying to progress the game in these dungeons, and a lot of the dungeons are underground in the city. So for the most part, you are in this city and cannot leave. And I think for me, that's where it was a little harder for me, like not being able to leave the town. I usually don't like games where I don't feel like there's a huge adventure happening. I mean, underground there are passages, and that's where your dungeons are, and that's where your random battles are. But for the most part, you are above ground, so a lot of that is not happening in this game. Okay, let's talk about the Grimoire Nox. So while you're in the Grimoire Nox, you usually have to like tower defense in the Grimoire Nox. So you're doing like this tower defense portion where you're having to defend this place and not let it get knocked down. And for me, in the beginning, that was easy. I was coasting through the game just fine, and then in chapter 4, I hit a roadblock. I could not pass. If it wasn't for a Discord that I'm in, I wouldn't have been able to defeat this game without like looking it up. And I usually hate looking things up because I feel like then I get spoiled on stuff that might be happening, and so I usually try not to look things up. But if you don't know to like upgrade the Grimoire Nox area with Dogi, you will not progress further in this game. So you definitely have to upgrade like the battalions, like the points in the game, and make your pillar stronger. If not, you will not be able to progress in this game, because that pillar is super weak, and it can take like 1 or 2 hits from the Lumineers before it's knocked out and you get game over. So that was pretty hard for me to like grasp the concept. I did take a break, admittedly, in the middle of this game, actually on chapter 4. So it probably was that I had a hard time on chapter 4, couldn't progress, and that's why I stopped playing, because I couldn't remember why I stopped playing, and it must have been that at chapter 4. And from what I hear, everybody has a problem at chapter 4 with that. So if you are stuck on this game, go to Dogi, upgrade everything, and that's possibly why you are stuck if you are on the Grimoire Nox scene. So every time you're on the Grimoire Nox, you are definitely battling hordes. It's like a horde board where you're battling hordes of enemies and having to battle all of them in order to progress your game, which is where I got stuck. Now let's give it a rating for you guys. So Ys 9 for me is my second Ys game. And I played, the only other Ys game that I played was 8. And I try hard not to compare these games to each other. I will preference that, but I do, obviously, you, if you've played the other one, you have, it's a little bit of a bias, right? So for sure Ys 8 for me was a little bit better than this one, but this one was pretty good too. I really liked, like, once I passed the part where I was stuck, I was able to enjoy this game and get hooked in it, and like the story is great. It's just the like starting and stopping of like having to beat the Grimoire Nox in order to progress the story that was an issue for me. If it wasn't for that, I would have been able to like fly through the story and enjoy it. But I did have a hard time. So for me, it knocks it down a peg because it doesn't, I mean, it kind of tells you, but it doesn't really tell you have to upgrade the Grimoire Nox in order to progress your game. And that speed bump that I hit out of nowhere literally impacted like my gameplay. I stopped playing it for like months on end until I think actually a year or so before I got back into it and try to finish it before Ys 10 comes out. So for me, this game is a 4.5. It was really good. That speed bump, not knowing how to progress, did hinder the game, but otherwise the game is super fun action JRPG. I loved that there was lots of voice acting in Ys 9. Not too much to read. I mean, there was, obviously it's a JRPG, so there's lots to read, but a lot of the lines were voice acted, which is very nice when you're playing a game and having a lot of dialogue to read. So definitely the major story parts were voice acted, and even some of the sub quests were also voice acted, which was super nice. So I want to thank you guys for watching. If you've made it this far, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to leave a comment and let me know what you thought about the game, comment below. If you're gonna play it, if you've played it and you don't agree with my score, if you played it and think it deserved better or worse, let me know in the comments below. And thank you guys for watching. Happy gaming, guys. Bye.